So hello again, and what I'm going to be teaching you today is a little bit about bar chords. Okay, so one thing I'm going to warn about bar chords first of all is that if you haven't really gotten a mastery of your other chords yet, bar chords are going to be pretty difficult for you. So if you haven't gotten to that point yet, take your time. Make sure that you know how to get your other chords sounding really good. Make sure you got your open chords. Make sure your hands are stretching out a little bit before you start this, because this can get pretty frustrating if you haven't mastered those things yet, okay? So the next thing I'm going to show you is these first 4 bar chords, okay? These first 4 bar chords are really kind of the basis of all bar chords. So what we're going to start with is we're going to start with F, B flat, F minor, B flat minor. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the paper, okay, which you've seen in some of my other videos. All right, so right here what you've got is you've got these first 4 bar chords, F, B flat, F minor, B flat minor. Okay, so you can kind of see them all. If you want to pause that, screenshot it, whatever you want to do. This is your chords that you can work with. You can also find these pretty much anywhere online. At this point, I know that you should have a pretty good understanding of what that paper looks like, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that, but I am going to show you how to formulate these chords and kind of work with them a little bit and explain some things about them. Okay, so the first one is going to be F. Okay, the first thing you want to do is you want to take your finger, you want to go across, all the way across that very first fret, and you want to try to get as much tone out of it as possible. All the different strings. You can kind of bend your finger a little bit. Sometimes it can run across that first fret. Doesn't matter as long as you get good sound, good tone, and it's in tune, okay? Next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to try to formulate really what looks like an E in first position with different set of fingers right behind that bar. Okay, and I'll explain later what you're actually doing with this finger is you're actually moving up the chord form that you already know all the way up the guitar. But we'll get back to that in a second. So we're going to play F. Okay, so this is F major. One thing I want you to know about F major is that F major has 3 chords in it. I know this isn't going to totally make sense yet, but I want you to hear it so it starts to get into your head. Okay, F major is made up of 3 notes, F, A, and C. Okay, now if I want to switch this from an F major to an F minor, okay, I'm going to change this note right here, which is my 2 finger or my middle finger. I'm going to lift that up, and that is changing the A note that is in that F chord to an A flat, which is why it gives it this sound. It's a minor sound. Okay, so you have with the A, it's an F. With the A flat, it's A minor. Okay, also just so you know, for your reference, those notes have numbers associated with them inside the chord. The F is the 1, the A is the 3, and the C is the 5. I'll explain more about that in another video, but right now, understand that I'm taking the 3, which is the A, and I am moving it down a half step to the A flat. Alright, so that is F minor. Now, the next chord I'm going to show you is B flat, okay? On the paper, you're going to see it. Okay, so you got your bar. I generally like to bar, even though the traditional chord is going to say that it goes up to the 2nd string from the top on the paper. I actually like to bar mine all the way up and put an extra F in this chord. Okay, so I actually do the same thing I do with the other chord. I put my finger all the way across. I get tone. And then what I do is I take my 3 finger or my pinky, depending on how I'm feeling that day, and I have 2 notes right here on the 3rd fret. They're going to be left open so that this finger can ring out. So this finger is going to go right here, and I want to get these bottom 4 to have notes, to have sound. So then if I put them together, I've got the B flat. Now, same thing, in a B flat chord, you have B flat, D, and F. B flat is 1, D is 3, F is 5. And what you're going to see is when I play this B flat, if I move this D note, which is right here on the 3rd fret, and it's the 2nd string from the bottom, I'm going to move that down a half step, and that's going to become D flat, and that is what makes this B flat minor. So I have B flat. I'm using my pinky there just in case you're confused. All right, and that's playing B flat, D, and F. When I move my D down a half step, now it's B flat minor. Okay, so one other thing that I want to explain to you about these chords. One, again, take your time. Two, when you're playing them, maybe it's a good thing to kind of focus on the top 4 notes at first. Those bottom ones can be a little difficult to kind of get out, especially on an acoustic guitar. Electric might be a bit easier, but when you're playing this F, maybe focus on the top 4, and then as time goes on, get those high ones in there. If that makes sense. The other thing that's really neat about bar chords is that bar chords actually function as the same form. So you're playing that form and it can go all the way up. So the guitar moves in half steps. And so what you have is right here, this open note is an E. Then you have an F, a G, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, B flat, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, and then back to E on the 12th fret, okay? What's cool though about bar chords is that because you're barring it, you can actually move your chord all the way up. So if I start on F right here, which is on the very 1st fret, there he is. Now if I just move this up 1 half step and I go to the 2nd fret, now I'm playing F sharp. If I move it up another half step, now I'm playing G. If I move it up another, I'm playing G sharp. And so on and so on and so on. And it works the same with minors. So if I play F minor, now if I move it up a half step and go to the 2nd fret, it's F sharp minor. Now if I go to the 3rd fret, it's G minor. 4th is G sharp. Okay, so that's how bar chords work. Also, that's how the capo works, which I'll explain in another video. But good luck with your bar chords. Again, be patient with yourself. It can be very difficult. Took me probably about 6 months before my first bar chords, when I was first starting, really started to sound good. So again, be patient with yourself. Know that it's going to be hard and frustrating at first, and just take your time. As I always say, practice just a little bit every single day on all the things that are kind of difficult for you, because that's going to make you better. All right, it's kind of like working out. If you practice a little bit every day on a little bit of stuff, you get stronger, your muscle memory builds up, and you get better. So good luck on your bar chords. Have a great day.